Live from Memorial Hall in Cincinnati, Ohio, it's the pre-show for the 65th Annual Scripps Howard Awards.
And good evening and welcome to beautiful Memorial Hall, where we are just about 30 minutes away from a celebration of journalism and its impact in our communities with the Scripps Howard Awards show. I'm Craig McKee.
And I'm Tanya O'Rourke. And you can see, folks, you can hear the celebration is well underway here. Folks having a with their guests. They're all gathering, mingling, having a really spectacular time.
So much energy in this room tonight.
Yes.
We are actually going to bring some of that excitement to you through a number of interviews with a few people here, starting with the host of the Scripps Howard Awards show.
That is right. We are so pleased that journalist Laura Logan, correspondent for 60 Minutes, is with us. You're the host tonight. So, Laura, start with this. One, thank you for being with us and doing this tonight. But what does tonight mean for journalism?
When I was watching the entries, the winners, I was truly blown away by how memorable and powerful their stories were. And to me, it was a reminder of the importance of beat journalism, journalists who know their story, who know their beats, but also just what we can do when we do it right.
We have to be impactful in our stories, don't we?
Yes, and that impact comes from letting the stories speak for themselves.
Absolutely.
And in the entries this year, it was really a broad range from the opioid issue to Niger, the attack in Niger, to even a polar bear. There were so many different angles to journalism stories.
I love the polar bear.
The polar bear.
I love the polar bear. That thing is so cute.
So sweet. And I understand. We had a lovely conversation yesterday. Thank you for your time yesterday. And one of the things you said is you have been up for one of these awards a couple of times.
And I haven't won yet.
Stumped. What is happening?
I know. Well, you know, that's the thing about it, too, is there are some national reporters here, but most of the winners are local reporters. And we get a lot of our ideas from local news, you know, and other journalists. We sort of feed off each other in lots of ways. So I always love to see this and it sounds cliched, but it inspires me. It inspires me to be better again, because you see so much of what we do poorly, and you know, you get to where you don't even want to watch it anymore, right? I don't want to turn off the TV, or I don't even open the newspaper. And then I come here and it reminds me again of why I became a journalist, and I feel like I believe that I ever completely lose faith, but it restores some of my faith.
It sure is energizing.
As a war correspondent, you've been to so many places in our world. How important is that freedom to go into these war zones and take a closer look at what's going on, albeit
really
Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria right now? How important is that to journalism overall?
Well, I first want to say that with Syria, I feel like every day I fail, because we're not there, I'm not there. There's been a lot of very brave journalists who've gone to Syria. It's an extraordinarily difficult war to cover, but honestly, we're not doing a great job. And the burden has fallen mostly on the shoulders of citizen journalists, and I take nothing away from them, because without them, we would know so little. And some places, nothing, right? They have access that we don't have, but we have to not accept that. That's not acceptable. You have to keep trying. And I think it's everything, because it's about accountability, right? People can't help hold their leaders accountable if they have no idea what's being done in their name.
Well, it's going to be a spectacular night. We are showcasing the best of journalism.
Absolutely.
Can't wait.
Well, you two are great, I have to say. Tanya, you inspired me again yesterday.
Oh, you were so
interviewed
kind
me.
to say that. That means the world to me, because to have someone like you with a huge national presence, someone who has been on the front lines, and truly, and I've said this before, been a witness to history, and been able to relay that for all of us sitting comfortably in our homes when you're in the uncomfortable place. It's a huge thing what you do, day in and day out.
Well, I choose to do it.
Yes,
it's my
you do.
choice. So no one should feel sorry for me.
We don't feel sorry. We feel inspired by someone like you.
And what inspires me, though, is the way you guys do your jobs, the same way I do my job. You may do it for different people and it gets seen in different places, but that's what you see when you see this work tonight. You remember again that real journalism, we know what it is when we see it. We may not, even if you're not a journalist, you may not know all the little things we know, but in the end, what you do know is when you see real journalism. And that's what this organization stands for and what it's honoring tonight. And honestly, the Scripps family, that's how they live.
And you've become close with some of the members of the Scripps family, and really that's why you're here tonight, to some extent.
I love them.
Yeah.
And we live in the same tiny little spot of dirt in the middle of nowhere in Texas together.
And they basically came to you and said, come to our event, right?
In Becky's kitchen, yeah. That's when Samantha, her daughter, said.
That's how things happen. That's how the world of journalism works. That's how the world works in general.
In the kitchen.
All right.
Laura, thank you so much for giving us some time here. I know the lights just flashed, which means we're getting closer to the awards tonight.
I got to get back on stage. And you know, at the end of the night, right? I'm going to get the award for the highest heels.
Because they're fabulous.
I know, I feel like we should ask, who are you wearing? You know.
Oh no, it's an Asian website. It's not even a designer. Don't ever ask me that question.
Not only is she gorgeous, she is talented, she is kind, and she is a supporter of all journalism. Thank you so much, Laura. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, so this evening is the result of a lot of hard work, of course, and a lot of people. In fact, there were 914 submissions in 15 different categories. We're talking about states from all across the country. There are 50 different judges involved in this. $170,000 in prize money will be awarded by the end of the night. In fact, the winner of the Impact Award could walk away with as much as $30,000. Here are some of the people, though, who can actually tell us how this all came together.
Yes, we are so pleased that here with us is Liz Carter. She is president and CEO of the Scripps Howard Foundation. And of course, Brian Lawler, president of local media for Scripps.
So Liz, tell us, why do we do this every year and how did this come about?
Well, you know, for democracy to work and for our society to work and for us to become better people, more knowledgeable people, it takes this journalism, it takes this fourth leg of our democracy, and this is a celebration of the wonderful work that's done that really affects our lives, that helps us see the world in a new way, changes laws, changes our perceptions. And that's what this is all about, saying thank you to those journalists who bring us those stories, often at great sacrifice.
Truly a great sacrifice. So talk to us, Brian, what do you think makes the Scripps Howard Award so unique, so special? I know Liz just touched on a little. From your
It's a celebration of journalism.
Yeah.
I think, you know, certainly in today's environment, journalism is as important to the dialogue of the country as it's ever been. And so I think, you know, we're a journalism company. We may be a media company, but we think of ourselves as a journalism company first, 140 years. And so, you know, not only do we hold ourselves accountable to a very high standard, but we want to celebrate the best inside the entire industry. And so bringing together some of the best journalists in America to Cincinnati to celebrate this is such a source of pride for the company.
And Nicole, we don't highlight just Scripps stations.
no.
We're talking about companies across the country.
Some of the biggest news organizations in the world are here to be
And
celebrated.
even some of the smallest. And I love that that's the case, right? This isn't just about, you know, 60 Minutes or a big giant organizations winning. The smallest
Small-town newspapers,
It's
yeah.
fantastic that way.
And you know, this program is now in its 65th year, and as you can imagine, it has really changed over the past couple of years. It's gone from being a dinner to a live show, taking a look back. In fact, just from a little bit of last year, I actually had the pleasure to serve as MC. And Liz, of course, you can tell from the looks in the people's faces in this video, you know, it's important, it's a fun evening. There's so much to this celebration.
There is so much to the celebration, but I think the part that's really the heart of it is when those journalists stand up and talk about what this means to them. This is not a job. This is a calling to them, and they take so much care with people's personal stories that they share with them, with making sure those facts are right and that they understand things and can share that with the community. And those comments, I have goosebumps right now just thinking about that. It's amazing.
It really is a passion for folks. We were just speaking with Lara Logan. If you don't have a passion for this, there is no way you're ever going to be on this stage.
You are not going to do this. Like, you can't stick out the job because it's a tough job.
Absolutely.
It's hard. You have to go toe-to-toe, ask hard questions with people who don't want to tell you things. You have to go to the tender parts of people's hearts who have suffered losses. You have to be willing to go there, and you know, it's not for everybody. It's not for the faint of heart.
And we mentioned this briefly with Laura, that the broad range of topics. I mean, we have a polar bear, we have opioid, we have the attack in Niger. There are so many different angles,
of things.
but they're all judged, obviously differently in their own category, but it really shows how broad journalism is, and we actually touch every angle.
Yeah, well, I think that's right. And at the end of the day, there's a national and an international stories to be told and accountability, but there's also in local communities, these stories matter.
Yeah.
And some of our stories and some of our investigative journalism changes laws, changes dialogue inside of communities and the narrative. And so it's really important that we celebrate all of that. You're talking about the passion and how important the passion is. The curiosity is so critical, and the courage. And as Liz said, boy, there's a lot of days where our people are threatened and intimidated, and they're put in really scary situations.
Yeah.
But it's the courage to get the story and get it right, make our communities better, make this world better, that really motivates all of us as journalists.
Brian, I want to ask you, this is the first year for the pre-show, and there's also going to be a rebroadcast of the award show for the first time this year. Why do that?
Yeah, Scripps serves 24 local markets where we have TV stations in large and small cities across America. And we think it's really important, especially with the narrative that's going on in America today, to celebrate the journalism and see the courage and the ethics that go behind journalism. And so we as Scripps want to share that in all of our markets and let people know that as a news organization in local communities, this is the standard we hold ourselves accountable to, and we believe that that should be shared.
And Liz, I imagine today is probably the best day of the year for you.
It is absolutely. I won't say it's the best day for our award winners, but it is. It is absolutely our best day. We love it.
Yeah, there's got to be huge pride for everyone at Scripps because of this award.
It is. There's huge pride in what we do. Somebody that works at Scripps had said, my wife said she was always proud of my work, but now she's proud of the company that I work for.
That's
great.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. And it is nice to be able to celebrate journalists, not just from Scripps. I mean, every day we try and really celebrate our best, but to celebrate people, from all different companies, newspaper, television, digital, mobile, all those things, so that they can be celebrated for the incredible work they do. It's so important.
And internally, Scripps, we really lift each other up internally, so you're really lifting journalists up across the country.
That's right.
Absolutely.
No matter who they work for.
Yeah,
That's
great.
So let me remind you folks, so if someone misses the show tonight or wants to see it again, you will get several chances to see it soon.
And tonight's show is being live streamed, of course, right after the pre-show. It will also be available for replay on YouTube, Facebook, and shawards.org, or as Brian said, on TV in one of our 32 Scripps markets. And we, of course, want to thank Brian and Liz once again.
Well, we want to welcome,
Yes.
or should I say, welcome back, my former co-anchor, Brendan Keefe. He's the chief investigative reporter for 11 Alive in Atlanta. So how does it feel to be back in Cincinnati?
It is so good. Anchoring with you for 5 years, we did it together. It was just awesome. But to be back here for this particular award, this means so much.
Well, actually, Brendan, that is, you actually won the local broadcast category. Your interview was called The Drug Whisperer. How did this story evolve and come about?
Basically, it was a woman called and said she was arrested for drunk driving or drugged driving, but her blood test came back clean. The difference between investigative reporting and regular reporting is we didn't do a one-off story. We wanted to know, how can this happen, and is it an isolated case? It's not. It's widespread. It's national, multi-month investigation, almost the whole year, 5 major parts, and we discovered that the training tells these officers that their training is more powerful than a blood test.
It is amazing that we're blessed within Scripps, and you're blessed where you are, that they give you the time and the space to do these long-form journalism, to spend a year going back to these stories over and over again.
Yeah, I work for Tegna now, and they believe, just like Scripps does, in this sort of long-form, investigate, like Craig Cheatham is doing, carrying the I-Team mantle at WCPO, and that real investigative journalism matters, that making our communities better and safer places to live, that is the goal. It's not about the 7 things in your sock drawer that can kill you.
Right.
And this award means the most, because this is not a sizzle award. This is a steak award.
Well, you're no stranger to awards.
Big awards,
Let's face
giant
it.
awards, Murrows, right?
And a wall of Emmys as well.
Look, there's the Peabody, there's the DuPont, there's the Murrows, and those all mean something.
Sure.
The Scripps Howard Award, and perhaps maybe only the Investigative Reporters and Editors Award, those two, this particular award and that award, are all about you've really got to have the goods.
Right.
You know, it's not just, it doesn't have to just look good. I don't go anywhere without my camera, you know, and I shoot all my own work. I'm
Yes,
a one-man
you do.
band by choice, as you guys know. But it's not just about how it looks. You actually have to be exposing a problem and solving it, and really on a national basis, even for these local investigative reports.
Speaking of exposing, I got to mention you brought your son Ian with you, and I don't know if we can even get a shot of you. Do you want to come up here real quick? You might not want to.
You want to say hi real
but-
quick? No?
No.
He's a little shy,
You're
unlike his
exposing
dad.
him to- yeah, I don't know how that happened. But you're exposing him to some of the great things that you're accomplishing.
Yeah, the reason he's here tonight is because, yeah, he said you forgot to mention the
He did
DuPont.
want a DuPont, yes.
Yeah.
So he's really not so shy for you.
So, you know, here's something where this means a lot. You know, this award does come with a cash award, which is unusual for most awards. The reason Ian's here tonight is his 11th birthday, but also because he needs to go to a special school for dyslexia and for ADHD next year. And that school is $25,000. And we were sitting there figuring out how are we going to pay for the school that he needs, and then the $10,000 Scripps Howard Award comes here. And, you know, I think that's why he's here tonight, because the awards don't mean anything. It's about making a difference in our communities, but first in our families.
And it's going to make a difference for Ian and for your family. That is a great story. Thank you for sharing that, because it is something to open your heart and let people inside of it. I know you guys have been dealing with that. I wonder, will there be any stories on schooling in Atlanta?
I pretty much have to recuse myself from them because, you know, the public schools really left him behind. And my wife's working on a documentary. She's a former CBS News producer, and she's working on a documentary on that right now. You know, the public schools are so strapped right now as it is. It's not the teachers, but the system decided that he plummeted.
Well, we've seen
in
all the
public
rallies
schools.
taking place
Yeah.
in Kentucky and
Absolutely.
Oklahoma, and so there are definitely issues, and the teachers are speaking up about
Yeah,
them.
and you know, first thing we have to do is take care of our boy, but then my wife wants to make sure, even as a mom, she's still a journalist and wants to make sure that other families similarly situated have answers, because we're committed, and we actually, you know, if we have to, we have the means to send them to a special school, but what about the families that don't have that? Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
keep exposing what you're exposing.
Keep doing
getting
what
the
you're doing.
answers.
Keep
and
shooting all
making
those
the
great
changes.
stand-ups,
Absolutely.
the Brendan Keefe stand-ups.
Yeah,
They're
keep that.
famous. Oh, goodness gracious. Hello. Love you,
Thanks.
Brendan. Congratulations. Thank you for
Thanks.
coming
Thanks,
by
Brendan.
tonight.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for taking over where I left off.
He's stuck with me now. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
It's so difficult to work with her. No, I'm kidding. All right, so right now we want to actually bring in Charles Bermundi, the great-great-grandson of E.W. Scripps and a member of the company and foundation boards as well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I use this part, right?
Yeah, you're doing great. So, Charles, as a Scripps family member, what does an event like this mean to you and your entire family?
Well, the awards mean a lot to our entire family, but for the word that springs to mind is citizenship, because that is what journalism helps us all be, is the best citizens we can be. And for 65 years, these awards have helped people to decide who to trust and help people to access information that is unbeholden and fair and balanced. Well, I'm not going to use that phrase, sorry.
Those words together, maybe not.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, citizenship is really the most important aspect of what these awards are bring to everybody.
What's the biggest challenge maybe moving forward, you believe, in our career field and trying to keep shining the light?
Well, there's very many, as you well know, but establishing that you know, news is accessible on any platform, and having people sort of demolish the barriers between where you get your information, and to have people understand where to go to trust, because that is honestly why these awards are so important.
Right.
Is because by celebrating the truth tellers, by celebrating the journalists in this room who produce real news and are able to help all of us as citizens be citizens, is the biggest one among the many biggest the many challenges. But the celebration of truth-telling.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Truth-telling is where it's at. Charles, it is such a pleasure to have had you here, and it's lovely to meet you too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, for the winner of the categories tonight, by the way, it's actually an opportunity for them to be recognized, of course, for their work. They each will receive a nice trophy and a monetary award, but there is still one big award to be given. This is the Impact Award. It goes to the very best journalism out of all of this year's Scripps Howard Award winners, and that is coming up during the awards show.
Well, and here with us now, hello. Hello, Joe.
Hi.
Joe, I am going to mess up your name.
Sure.
Locascio?
Locascio. There's a lot of different ways.
So how do you say
okay.
it?
I say Locascio.
Locascio. We want to welcome you here. You're with
Thank you.
Vice News. And Vice News did an extraordinary piece of work, many extraordinary pieces of work, but this one in particular. You are up for this special award tonight. What does being here tonight, accepting this award, and maybe getting another award as well, mean?
Well, it's thrilling, and you know, this was such an important piece, not only for our company, but you know, for the country. Everyone got to see what happened there from kind of a first-person view,
right.
And you know, it's whenever you get recognized for your work, it's just like a really good feeling. So we're just really happy to be here and just honored to accept this award.
I'm hoping you're David McGee.
I am.
I'm so glad just to know that you're David McGee and that you're here with us. For you to be here and be part of this,
You're representing
you're the
Bristol
Herald
Courier.
News,
Right.
Herald Courier, I should
Courier.
say. Congratulations to you as well.
Thank you very much.
What does this mean tonight?
It's a tremendous achievement for our staff. We have a very small staff. We worked really hard for many months on this, putting this together. It was a tremendous amount of time and energy. We dedicated a lot of staff time to this that might have otherwise been spent doing other things that we would normally do. But to win this is a great achievement. We won the Pulitzer in 2010, and this feels just as exciting as that does.
So you guys, I understand in Bristol, were pretty darned excited when you heard the news. And that
That's
video
true.
went viral. Tell us about this, what led up to it, what happened.
We got the information a week or so before that.
Look at this picture. This is fantastic.
There you go. There's me. I did this. They were a little bit late on the photo, but that's a lot of the staff. That's the news staff there, and also a lot of the rest of the advertising and the business office, and those folks came in wanting to know if we had actually won or not, because we knew there was a lot of competition in the category. It was a big feather in our cap to get that done.
Well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
Unbelievable accomplishment. And is this any different? I mean, you mentioned past awards. What's special, I guess, about the Scripps Howard Foundation Award?
What's really special about this is it's twofold, really. Number one is we attacked a problem that is so permeated our region with the opioid addiction problem and the NAS babies. And we tackled that head on and really felt like we got our arms around the problem and explained it to people. And it was the entire staff. The Pulitzer was primarily one reporter who was dedicated for 6 months to do one project.
Right.
This was everybody in the newsroom that had a part of it.
There's a big cash award coming tonight to one of you. You guys excited?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think.
I think. And we will hope that you both enjoy yourselves. We congratulate both of you on
Thank you.
the excellent journalism that you all have produced. We're so happy that you could be here tonight.
Thank you very
you
much,
so
and good
much.
luck.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right, so we want to take a look out in the lobby. You can see a few
Look at
people out
this.
there. It's clearing out
Few
behind us, too.
stragglers.
But some real excitement now leading up to the award ceremony. The judging, though, that could be a difficult chore. And here's someone who actually knows Susan King as the Dean of the School of Media and Journalism, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, also a judge for the Scripps
Go Hills.
Howard Awards. So what is that judging process like? Because these are some major pieces.
I would not want to do this.
No, first of all, it's a huge honor to be asked to do it, really. But it is hard because you're looking at so many entries, and you want to give everyone their due. And they're all really good.
Oh,
But what
yes.
makes it amazing is trying to decide who is the best, what says about this year, what we want to recognize. You had Vice just up. That's a new organization. The fact that they're doing that kind of great
And they've been
journalism
making
is-
waves.
Yes.
They've
They're
been
making waves, and
Yeah.
Scripps Howard is saying they deserve to make
Sure.
waves.
They sure are.
My alum, Emily Steele, is one of the winners tonight for the Me Too movement at the New York Times, so I'm very excited about her because she has changed the conversation in America this year. You know,
She has.
So first and foremost, it is also a great group of journalists to be with every year. We come together and really sort of say what matters. Journalism matters. It's nice-
Journalism matters. We completely appreciate you. I do wonder, is there ever one that you're like, I just can't
Oh,
decide?
yeah. I've fought for one, and sometimes it comes in second in my group. But, you know, that's what's great. We really advocate for the different pieces.
Absolutely.
But I'm interested to see who the Impact Awardee is tonight myself.
You know, I am can too.
My lips are sealed.
Ah, you know.
He knows. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for all that you do for the Scripps Howard Awards. We do appreciate that
Pleased
so
to be
very
here.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what?
Yes.
It is almost time for the show to start. Down here, the rooms are starting to clear out. Folks are starting to head upstairs to their seats in the theater. We got to get up there too. Craig, you did the voiceovers for the show. And the thing is that you know who won that Impact Award. Those two gentlemen up here, you could have told them.
I could have.
You won't even tell me.
I won't tell anybody. No, I had those scripts and I think I had to shred them or burn them moments after I read them.
Did you eat them?
I did. No, I didn't do that. But I do know the answer, but you're going to have to wait for that answer. We'll know in just about 90 minutes from now, right around 8:30, that award will be given out.
Absolutely. So, folks, here's the thing. We're just minutes away now from the 65th Annual Scripps Howard Awards. I promise you, you're in for some fabulous journalism tonight.
A big thank you to everyone for joining us for the pre-show. Stay right here. The Scripps Howard Awards are next.